Hi guys, it's Celia, and today I am back. It has been a very long time, but I honestly have been incredibly busy with work, which is what I'm here to talk about today. So I'm going to talk about how I got my dream job at Insider as an associate producer. So I think I'm really just going to start from the beginning of my life. I've always loved to be on camera and use a camera and edit little videos together. So literally when I was like 2 or 3, picture me singing Toxic on a camera in an audio room with my sister. Toxic by Britney Spears, if you don't know who I'm talking about. But, let's hope you know what I'm talking about. Alright, got it. I have always been obsessed with carrying around a little camcorder. My parents own their own video production company, so I think that's pretty much where my interest came in to start with. I've pretty much always just stolen their cameras and their tripods and made little vlogs of myself. Back in the day when it was really big on YouTube to make music videos, I would make music videos with my friends and put them in iMovie and edit them. And I just thought it was so fun. So that's, I think, where all my love for media and cameras and being on camera and editing and shooting and everything like that came from. I kind of started a YouTube channel in college, and that's pretty much where I started actually taking classes and exploring my love for media and cameras and everything like that. Let me just actually start by telling you what my major was. So my major was journalism, but I would say I had a focus in broadcast journalism because I took a lot of broadcast classes where I learned to edit. I also learned how to use a bunch of different cameras, and one of my favorite classes was called Good Day to Paul. So basically in Good Day to Paul, we just basically had our own news show every week, and every other week you would have a package on it, and then about once or twice a month you would get to anchor. So I loved doing that. I was basically my own one-man band. We all were. We would just have our camera equipment, come up with the story, obviously get it approved, and then go out and do our interviews, do our stand-ups, and then come back, edit it all, and then show it to our professor, and if it was good to go, it would go up on the show. And I would always send the links out to everyone, share it. I put it on my own YouTube channel. I loved it. Thought it was so fun. So I really liked that. And then I also did Radio to Paul. So I got to be on the radio and talk about news and stuff like that. I really had a lot of internships in college. I tried to beef up my resume as much as I could with anything and everything that was semi in the sphere of what I wanted to do, which was, honestly at the time, my dream job was BuzzFeed. So I was trying to figure out how to do something like that. So I really just did any internship that was in the realm of that. I did a marketing internship. I was a videographer for my sorority. I had a internship as a social media and videographer for Chicago's Fashion Week, and I really just did everything and anything under the sun that was semi-involved in media. So I kind of had a lot of stuff on my resume, but obviously your resume isn't everything. You need to kind of know what you're talking about. So when I was a senior in college, I thought that I was going to be a news reporter. And that makes me think back to an Oprah quote where she kind of said that when she was a news reporter, she had to stop because it was just too sad to talk about everything bad that was happening in the world every day. And that's not always true, but that's kind of how I feel about it. I kind of wanted to do something more where I could try out things and come up with my own ideas and make videos on them. So that's kind of where the love for media companies came in, like BuzzFeed, Insider, Now This, all of those, Thrillist, all of those media companies, The Cut, all that stuff. So I just wanted to do anything like that. So basically I decided not to go through with being a news reporter, and I worked part-time after I graduated. I worked at Flywheel. Didn't have anything to do with what I wanted to do, but I was just kind of looking online, looking for jobs to apply to, and that's where my friend Carrie comes in. Carrie already lived in New York City. She was a beauty editor at Pop Sugar. So Carrie was already in the world of media and editorial, and she really helped me out with finding jobs and applying for those jobs. I had applied to like probably 12 internships at BuzzFeed and I never heard back. So I was like, I must be doing something wrong. I don't know, I have the experience, someone help. So I reached out to Carrie. She told me about this website that's called ED 2010, and it's basically a website for editorial jobs. And that's where I found the internship at Insider. So I applied, and I would actually really recommend that website if you're interested in anything at all like this. I would also recommend Indeed, Glassdoor, LinkedIn, reaching out to people on Facebook. I reached out to a lot of people who worked or had BuzzFeed internships when I was applying for all of those on LinkedIn and even Twitter. You just kind of have to do what you gotta do. I ended up finding the internship at Insider, which was super exciting because I couldn't believe that I could possibly get this job. So what I did is I basically bought a format of a resume and cover letter on Etsy, and this was kind of before when I was applying to like a bunch of different stuff, like the BuzzFeed one, even before I found the Insider one, but I just wanted to throw this in there because I think it's a really good idea. You can easily just buy a format or an already made resume and cover letter on Etsy and then basically put all your stuff in it, and you can choose your color and your font and the layout. So that's really cool. I would definitely recommend. It makes you stand out a lot, and they're like $15 and you have them for life, so I think it's a really good investment. So I had my resume and my cover letter all pretty, and what I did is I sent it to Carrie, and she kind of like took apart my cover letter and told me what I should take out, how I should reword things, how I should better explain my experience in a way that would be more relatable to someone who was hiring at Insider. And I seriously thank her so much for that. I think she's honestly one of the major reasons I got the internship at Insider. I think my cover letter really stood out, and now I know how to write really good cover letters, so if you need any help, let me know. I kind of love editing them and looking at them, so if you need someone, I'm here. Just comment down below, let me know, hit me up on Instagram, whatever. I thought I had a really great resume after Carrie helped me out in editing it, and I applied for the internship. And I think it was about a month or two later I heard back, and it was for a phone interview. So I had a phone interview with someone at Insider, who's now one of my very good friends, and she basically asked me about my experience and why Insider, what videos I liked from Insider. I was specifically applying for the Insider Picks video intern position, so she asked me a lot about what I liked about Insider Picks, what specific videos I liked, and we just had a really good conversation, and I told her a lot about myself and how I made my own YouTube videos and all of my experience on my resume. Basically, at the end of that call, she said that she was going to have me take the edit test, and the edit test is something that I hadn't heard about until my internship at Insider, actually. It's very common in any editorial internship or job. You basically take a test after your first initial interview. So I basically had to edit a video together in the Insider style, and then I had to pitch like 3 different video ideas. And you have like a certain amount of time to do it. So I did all that. I thought I did pretty well, and I apparently did, because I got a okay, like that was good, let's put you on to the last interview. So because I didn't live in New York, all of these interviews were over the phone, but if you lived somewhere near New York, I think you would go in for probably like the 3rd interview. But I basically just talked on the phone with 4 different people, 2 at a time. These weren't the same people as it wasn't the girl that I had talked to in the first interview, so it was 4 completely new people. So I explained my experience to them again. They asked me a lot of questions about Insider specifically and why I felt I should work at their company, and really just I talked honestly about like my own experience making YouTube videos. And because the Insider Picks position was it's about products, and you make product videos and you test out products, and that is something that I really liked already doing on my own YouTube channel, so that I think really helped me out because I did already have a lot of experience giving my own opinions, giving my own reviews, specifically about makeup because I made a lot of makeup videos. But I think that definitely helped me out because I kind of had the idea of you know, what the position would be, and I had some experience doing that already. So I found out about, I think maybe a week or two later, that I got the internship, and I realized that I was going to have to move from Chicago to New York. Obviously, I knew going into applying that that would be something that would have to happen, but I honestly didn't think I would get it because these internships are so hard to get, and that would be like a dream job that I just told myself. I was like, don't get your hopes up, you're probably not going to get it, blah blah blah, everything that you tell yourself. And yeah, I ended up getting it. So I moved to New York City in January of 2018, yeah. January of 2018, and I started my internship January 16th. And insider internships are 6 months long, unless it's a summer one, but most of them are 6 months. Sorry if anything changed. My camera likes to stop recording in the middle of me talking because it thinks I'm boring and it doesn't want me to succeed in anything. So getting the internship at Insider was like an absolute dream come true. It involved everything that I love to do. I love to be on camera, obviously. I got to do that every day in my job. I love cameras, I love shooting, I love all of that, so I got to do that. I love to edit videos, and I love to write scripts. So I literally got to do everything that I ever wanted to do, ever. And I'm so thankful for this internship, and that turned into literally my dream job. I knew within like 2 or 3 months of working at Insider that I wanted to work there full time, and I basically just talked to everyone and got advice from everyone, like my coworkers, previous interns who were now full time, even interns that didn't get hired. I talked to higher ups, I talked to hiring managers, I talked to everyone. I really covered my bases. I asked for advice, and I asked how I could make myself stand out, because sadly, although it is very hard to get the internship, just because you do a good job, it doesn't mean that you're necessarily going to get hired. And it's just because there are not enough positions open for full-time people as there are for interns. But just having one of these companies, be it Insider or somewhere else, on your resume for an internship is going to look so good to another job. So it's definitely worth it. Even if you just do an internship, I think it can really put your resume at the top of the list because you get such great experience and it's such a well-known and liked company. When I started my internship, I actually didn't think that I was going to stay in New York. I thought I was just going to do the internship and then go back to Chicago. But as I said, within like 2 or 3 months, I knew that I wanted to stay. I had fallen in love with New York City, my friends, my job, and I wanted to make it my real life. So I really just like tried to kick ass as best as I could. I said yes to everything. I always had a positive attitude, and I did anything that anyone asked me to do. I just think it's very important that you are like a go-to person and you do something different that sets you apart that no one else can do, so that you are basically irreplaceable. So I tried to do that as best as I could, and I really just made it very clear from very early that I wanted to stay, and I think that helped me as well because I got a lot of good advice, and I also put it on their radar that I was interested in staying. I didn't find out that I was getting hired until about like 2 weeks before my internship ended, which was terrifying because it's very hard to find a job in this industry, let alone one that you're obsessed with. I loved getting up and going to work every day, so I was like, I need to do this, please, please let me stay. So I found out that I was getting hired, and it was literally like the best day of my life. Yeah, that's basically my story of how I got hired and how I am currently an associate producer at Insider. I used to do Insider Picks, as I stated before, but I recently switched to doing beauty and style, which is very exciting because that was like my dream all along. I think my major takeaways for you to take away from this video on how to get your dream job would, if it's somewhere in the media world, because obviously that's like what I know about, I would say really beef up your resume and have a ton of experience. 2, I would say, is look on websites such as ED 2010 and Indeed, Glassdoor, LinkedIn, all those things that I mentioned, because you can find some really cool stuff on there. Reach out to people, like on Instagram, ask questions, ask people how they got where they are. Just really learn a lot about the industry that you want to be in. And then I would also say have your own kind of portfolio. So you can have your own website, that would be great. I didn't, but looking back, I think it would have been a good idea. So I would say have your own website. I had my YouTube channel. You know, just have a personal brand and show that you do this in your real life and that you actually love it. And then once you get the internship, I would say just really kick ass, always say yes, ask questions, and do the best job that you possibly can do, and find something, have like a niche or a niche where you really stand out and no one else can do that, so they can't possibly get rid of you because you're the only person who can do this certain way, and really just make yourself irreplaceable in that way. So I would say those are my biggest pieces of advice. I hope you enjoyed my life story. But yeah, if you have any questions, if you want any advice, if you want me to look over your resume, just comment down below, let me know. You can hit me up anywhere. I'll have my social media down below as well. I am really looking forward to doing more videos. I'm going to do a day in my life working in Insider. I'll kind of take you around the office. And then I'll take you through my New York City day and just show you around. So I think that would be super fun. I'm going to be doing a New York versus Chicago video. I just have a bunch of video ideas and I'm super inspired this year to make videos, and I hope you will join me for the ride. So if you're interested, just subscribe and I will see you for my next video. Bye guys!